Is Carlo Ancelotti indeed fantastico or magnifico for Everton? It seems that way, given the current form. Under his tutelage, 8 games played and Everton sitting second only in the form guide behind the elect champions Liverpool. What do you think, Craig, on his impact so far?
A little surprised. I think a lot frustrated, particularly, and maybe embarrassed like he was after the cup game at Liverpool when they put the kids out. That was a real wake-up call, I think, and for the players and for him about how much work there's needed to be done. But he seems to have hit the ground pretty much running, keeping it simple. Obviously, he's limited with what he's working with at the moment. We'll see if Everton are going to be able to go out and spend again in the summer. He'll want to do that. But I think Everton fans will be pretty happy. Yeah. In fact, I think they'll be very happy at the moment. I think they'll be encouraged. They didn't post very good financial results. That's a concern for them in terms of financial fair play and everything else that goes on. But you know, in terms of on the field, he pretty much has got out of them what he would have expected.
They were very frail under Marco Silva, and Silva sort of persisted in playing this 4-2-3-1, which didn't quite seem to have enough strength to it, particularly through the middle of the pitch. The 4-4-2 seems to suit the players a little better, like you say, keeping it simple. Do you think...
Which is what Ferguson did in his short interim period in charge. He said, look, simplicity and work rate and all that, and he got a tune, and Ancelotti hasn't really changed that.
Yeah, defensively, they're still kind of suspect.
Well, I think it's got to be frustrating for him, but he knew this anyway because he's been working with some of the top players in Europe. And we know Everton haven't really got the elite players. I mean, they've got Andrew Gomez out injured. He's a very, very good player. And he'll be a big addition when he comes back. But they haven't, there's no, unless I'm missing somebody out, there's no elite level players. And he's been working with elite level players for quite a while, some with some success and other times it hasn't worked. So I think there has to be a sense of frustration sometimes, but ultimately when he took the job and we all said, why is he taking that job? It's a bit like taking the Arsenal job when he was linked there, you're thinking, why is he wanting, because it's such a big rebuild. But he seems keen to be involved, and they've obviously Ken Wright and the other chap whose name escapes me, Mashiri, sold it well to him. Possibly with some promises, and I think they'll be encouraged from watching from the stands as well. So I think pretty pleased, but they're coming from quite a low bar.
Yeah. Richarlison seems to be a linchpin for him, a player who could well be that elite name that could sort of be a flag bearer for the team. But in terms of what he's delivered points-wise, I mean, there could have been more points. They dropped the 2 late goals to Newcastle at home. Yeah. A bit disappointing in the Cup, obviously, against Liverpool. Are you surprised that he's managed to get as many points as he has in the short term available? Does that speak more to him or to the overall quality at the team that is there? It just needs a tune getting out of.
Yeah, I think it was better than what we were seeing, whilst not being ideal. But I think, you know, when you walk in the morning and Carlo Ancelotti is your coach, you know, kind of you want to go and show him. You know, you want to train hard, like you should be anyway, but, you know, there's a bit of a difference between Marco Silva and Carlo Ancelotti. And all of a sudden you're thinking, I've got to show this guy. And so there's been a little step in there, a little bounce in the step. And I think the points tally's been great. I mean, you know, the Newcastle one was a blow.
The game at Watford seemed like it was beyond them at some point. Somehow they still managed to win that game.
To come back, win 3-2. So I think he's going to be happy, but listen, they'll need to give him some more tools for next season. Let's see what happens with this season and the remaining games. They're in 7th now, I believe.
They are.
It's a decent position from where they were.
It's very congested, isn't it, in that race for Europe? And some have even pointed to the Champions League because it's so congested. But 5 points off Chelsea, who have a game in hand, it might be a bit too much of a stretch for them, you'd think.
Yeah, I don't think that squad's good enough to keep that going consistently enough to be in the top 4. I mean, that would be an open top bus around Merseyside, would it not, if Everton were to make that from where they were? But I think that's wishful thinking.
OK, well, we'll see how they perform. They've got the big guns coming up next as well in Arsenal, Manchester United, Liverpool and Chelsea as well. Big test for Carlo Ancelotti. Let's see if he at Goodison Park is the real deal.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.